What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani of TSC Gaming, your home for gaming news updates, reviews, and everything in between. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on EA Sports UFC 3 on the Xbox One. This is also available on PlayStation 4. We're reviewing the Standard Edition, and if you'd like to check out other versions of the game, just click the link in the description. This is the sequel to EA UFC 2, which came out in 2016, and features a revamped combat system and a beefed-up career mode. But does this game improve from its predecessor? We're about to find out. So EA Sports UFC 3 hypes the fact that there is, well, more hype in between fights. It's not just going from cage to cage, event to event, and just beating opponents en route to a championship. No, you gotta do a little bit of everything. You gotta train. You gotta do some media. You gotta stream. You gotta do all kinds of things to promote yourself. Self-promotion is heavily emphasized in UFC's career mode. The problem is, it still feels like it's lacking a little bit compared to, say, WWE 2K. And it starts from the beginning. Now, much like the career mode in EA UFC 2, you can play as an existing fighter. So you could play as Conor McGregor and work your way up, or Daniel Cormier, or Jon Jones, or whoever. Or you can create your own character. And once again, the character creation is limited. It's decent. It's a step. It's about 100 steps above Madden. But that's not really saying much when you compare it to WWE 2K and NBA 2K as far as customization goes. So that kind of hurts the appeal of it at first. Then you go into the actual career mode where you have to train every week, spar every week. You'll do various media interviews. Maybe you'll do conference calls. You're asked to make fight predictions, and depending if you're too cocky, if you're too humble, you can gain or lose fans. And then, of course, you've got the fights where you start out on the regional circuit as opposed to being in the Ultimate Fighter house, which is a nice change. In fact, in your early fights, you don't even get commentators. It's straight up regional action, and you have to get those wins to work your way up to the big show. And each time you build up a fight with your rival in your respective weight class. In some cases, for me at light heavyweight, it might have been Jean Vellante. Then it was maybe Shogun Rua, Rampage Jackson, Anthony Rumble Johnson, Jon Jones, all leading up to the champion of my respective division, which is, of course, DC Daniel Cormier. Now, the cool thing, too, is you have a bunch of UFC minutes and video packages and things that kind of spice up and window dress this career mode, make it seem like it's more beefed up. You go to training camps, you can do different drills, which improve your overall fitness. You can do tutorials and learn your moves. But there's something that's still missing here. I don't know what it is. Maybe they need some kind of narrative story. Maybe I've just gotten used to a narrative between NBA's My Career Mode, between WWE's My Career Mode, between FIFA's The Journey, and Long Shot in Madden.
Fighters fight for many different reasons. Some do it for the fame. Others do it for the money. Eventually, all of that fades away. Yet going down in the history books as a UFC champion is something no one can ever take. It's proof that for a moment in time, out of all the fighters in your weight class, you were the best in the world. It's the culmination of all your hard work, the fulfillment of a dream. Tonight is your chance to take that gold belt and hear Bruce Buffer say, "And new." That kind of glory lasts forever.
I guess I just expect more out of my quote-unquote story mode in sports games, and for that matter, I feel like EA UFC 3 is lacking in that department. Speaking of departments, let's go to the gameplay, which is definitely the most important department of all. This game features a revamped combat system, which I actually found way more responsive when it comes to the stand-up game. I feel like there's a greater balance now, whereas in the previous games, you hit somebody with the kitchen sink and they'll stay up. But they tag you with a good jab, a good standing elbow, a flying knee, whatever, you're instantly knocked out. The disparity was kind of nuts. So here, I feel like the disparity is a little bit more balanced. It's a little bit better. It makes for more exciting fights, longer fights, at times more challenging fights, which I'm all for. Speaking of challenging, though, you got the submission system, which I found a little bit more annoying than the previous version. Once again, you have the little mini game where you have to move the right stick to each wall, in one side, up, down, left, and right, and you got to go through 5 stages before you can tap out or before you can tap somebody out. I just found this overly tedious, very unnecessary, and something that really just kind of took me out of the game. I mentioned it in my review of the previous title. It's a big prompt, it's a little mini game. It just kind of takes you out of the real element of feeling like you're in a mixed martial arts fight. That's just my opinion. I've seen some people online really praise the submission system. Personally, I wasn't feeling it a little too much. I think in certain cases, sometimes less is more, and I feel like less would have been more with the submission system. As for the fight modes, well, you got UFC Ultimate Team, which is similar to Madden and FIFA Ultimate Team, which I know are a gold mine for EA Sports' bottom line, but I'm not a huge fan of them. You open up different packs of cards, you get moves, you get fighters, you get a simulated team. Not something I'm really crazy about, as some of you may know from my past reviews. You can create custom events like you could last time. You got tournament mode. You've got live events mode, which returns this year, which allows you to predict the outcome of certain upcoming UFC live events in exchange for prizes, which is pretty cool. You've got ranked championships and online quick fight, which is fine, and the servers have held up for me. I have no complaints about the servers. Of course, there's the aforementioned career mode, and then there's my personal favorite mode, which is knockout mode. Why is knockout mode awesome? Because not only can you knock the hell out of somebody, and the only way you can win is by knocking the hell out of somebody, but you get the legendary rapper and Dana White's Tuesday Night Fights commentator, Snoop Dogg, calling the action.
You know, wow, you gotta have a strategic plan about yourself. Understand it. Oh, man. He got a half a bar now. He looks rattled right now. One thing about those two-piece dinners, they can really fill you up. Steak, 2 steaks, ribeye. Went butcher on it, he butchered it.
I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of hardcore fight fans that don't like Snoop Dogg commentating. Hell, there's a lot of fighters that don't even like Snoop Dogg commentating. But for the sole purposes of video game entertainment, Snoop Dogg on commentary is freaking awesome and a nice little feature. You got your usual fight now where you can just fight in an exhibition against your friends, or maybe you want to play against a computer in practice. You got Stand and Bang, which is all stand-up action, and you've got Submission Showdown for all my grappling nuts out there. Aesthetically, much like the previous version, the game looks great. Really nice character models. I love the faces when damage is done. You can really see the wear and tear on the body. I dig it. The hair physics still on point. And my general complaint about the aesthetics is really my general complaint about the UFC. None of their events feel different. The arenas all look the same. The cages look the same. The mats look the same. If you're fighting at the Saitama Super Arena or at the Staples Center or MSG, outside of the logos that tell you where the hell you're at, chances are you don't really know where you're at because they all look the same. Again, that's more of a complaint for the UFC itself as an organization compared to, say, Bellator or WWE that can make their events look different as opposed to the actual game. So overall, what's the verdict? Graphically, I have to give this game an 8 out of 10. One of the better looking Xbox One games you can play, as I mentioned before. Nice physics, cool visual effects, no complaints here. Gameplay, I give it a 7. Damn good stand-up game, but the submission system seriously bogs this thing down in my humble opinion. Content, I give this game an 8. Really good stuff, plenty of modes to choose from, but much like the previous EA Sports UFC game, I feel like there's still a lot more stake here than there is sizzle. I want more of that trash talk. I want more of these pull-apart brawls. I want more of that sizzle that I get with WWE 2K, with NBA 2K, with FIFA, and maybe that's just as simple as adding a narrative story mode like The Journey or like Long Shot or something like that. But I really would like to see EA beef it up a little bit in career mode. The video packages are nice. The whole tweeting back and forth with your opponents is nice, but again, I feel like that's a little bit of window dressing compared to actually overhauling the career mode. In conclusion, TSC Gaming gives EA Sports UFC 3 on the Xbox One a 7.7 out of 10. For more information on EA Sports UFC 3, maybe you want to check out the different versions available for you, click the link in the description. You can also subscribe to this channel by just clicking that subscribe button and enabling notifications. And if you like this review, please like, share, take care, and as always, enjoy the games.
The Atlantic Ocean, that is. He looks real wobbly. He didn't even have to hit him no more. What they call that epidemic when they pull your appendix up? Yeah, that's what I just gave you.